Dr Lisa Cameron and Chris Stevens. They're both SNP MPs. They've been elected in 2015. Dr Lisa Cameron was a clinical psychologist in the NHS for over 20 years. She was also a former Unite steward for more than 12 years. She's the current MP for East Kilbride, Strathaven and Lesmahagow. Chris is a former Unison steward for Glasgow City Council. He's the MP for Glasgow South West. Chris is currently Secretary of the SNP Trade Union Group and is a member of the National Executive. So each of our guests are going to give their speech to us, and then they're welcome to take questions after it, but I'll lay the floor open to them and they can tell you what order they like things to be done. So if you'd like to welcome to the meeting, please.
Chris and I were both on the Trade Union Bill Committee, and Chris led on that, so he can speak a bit more about that, and I'll speak a bit more broadly about my role. But make no mistake, being a trade union rep not only helps the people that you help at the time, but the skills and knowledge that you gain is really, really important in terms of politics, in terms of strategy, and in terms of thinking about equalities within our society. So it's one of the foundations that I carry with me in the building blocks that I'll be taking forward in everything that I do. Since being elected, which was an absolute whirlwind, because as you know, I wasn't a career politician. It wasn't something that I had planned for many years or anything. So it's a privilege for me to represent East Kilbride, Strathaven and Lesmahagow. It's where I grew up, and it's really the only place that I would have stood in the general election, because it's the constituency that I want to give my all to. Since being elected, I've dealt with over 4,500 constituency cases, which is a huge number, but I think it shows the impact of austerity on people within local constituency areas, and that people are now having to contact parliamentarians to try to push through issues linked with welfare, linked with benefits. I'm particularly dealing with mobility issues just now, and I think it's a disgrace. We're having to support disabled people who are having their mobility vehicles removed because of changes to their benefits, and that I'm doing my utmost to support those people. From my role as a clinical psychologist, I think that has also helped me to take things forward. So working in health, I think the more people that we can have who have worked in health settings who go into politics, I would really welcome that, because you're going to take that knowledge and experience that people who perhaps have come through a more pure sense of politics from their background are not going to have. So I'm trying to make sure that the things I get involved in are linked with health, starting the very first all-party parliamentary group on applied psychology, with help from the British Psychological Society, who will provide the secretariat for that. So we're hoping to reduce the focus on a medical model in Parliament and get more of a psychological model through, particularly in terms of issues of obesity, child and adolescent mental health difficulties, mental health and autism, which are just some of the areas that I've been working on. I'm also a member of the International Development Committee, and at first I had thought, that's going to be totally new to me, but again, when you come from the NHS, you have these background skills and this knowledge that I think you can apply more generally to most spheres. And working on the International Development Committee, I've been able to go across to Africa to look at the programmes that the Department for International Development are rolling out there, to look at health programmes, tackling malaria and polio, HIV, to also address education for girls, in particular in northern Nigeria, where Boko Haram abducted the girls. So there's been a lot of transferable skills, and I would say to anybody in health who wants to come into politics, please push yourself to do that. You've got a lot to give. My other issues that I champion that are personal issues to me are animal welfare issues. So I've hosted, sponsored this year, a debate on dog fighting and also on puppy farming, and these are some of the issues that I'm really, really keen we get further legislation on, both at Westminster and the Scottish Parliament. So Just to summarise, I think being in the trade union, being in Unite in health gives you great skills to translate that into policy. I've handed my cards round here so that if anybody wants to contact me about anything in particular that you feel is an issue, that you can get in touch after the meeting, and we'll obviously take questions today, but I would be encouraging people to get involved locally, get involved with local politics, and try and make sure that health voices and trade union voices are always heard. Thanks.